Wilson from Synergy Design Group. Today is April 18th, 2008, and I am interviewing Mr. Paul Donnelly on his experiences at Camp Murphty during World War II. And Mr. Donnelly, are you aware that this conversation is being recorded?
Yes. Would you send me a copy of it?
Oh, yes, sir. I definitely will. Actually, maybe I should go ahead and explain the procedure. We're going to record the conversation today, and then I will send you a release form that I would like you to sign, just giving Synergy and the Elliott Museum permission to use your interview in our documentary. And then I will transcribe the interview and send you a copy of it so that you can correct it or make any changes that you need to. And then you can send it back to me, and I will correct it, and then I'll send you a copy and a copy of the tape for you to keep.
Sounds great to me.
Okay, great. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. When and where were you born?
I was born in Brooklyn, New York. February the 26th. 1913.
Okay. Wow.
What?
Well, you have a lifetime of experience. And what was your childhood like growing up in Brooklyn?
Is it what?
What was it like growing up in Brooklyn?
Where I lived was in those days there were streets with lined with beautiful trees, and the brownstone houses, the big old brownstone houses. They call the 4 stories up. The basement was in the bottom, was in the ground floor, gardens in the back, and all that kind of stuff.
Wow, very nice. Probably different than today.
It's all gone, my friend.
Yeah. That's a shame. What did you do before you were involved with the war?
Well, I had just gotten a brand new job with the London's Casualty Insurance Company as a trial lawyer.
Okay.
And I was there for about no more than 7 or 8 months when I was called to active duty.
And where did you go to law school?
Which one do you want to go to? I went for, what the hell was it? An ambulance. So long ago.
Oh.
And I went to law school and college.
Okay.
And I think it was Dartmouth. I went to prep school in Brooklyn, that I know.
Okay.
Brooklyn Prep.
It sounds good.
Leave it there.
Okay. Do you remember where you were when you heard about the attack at Pearl Harbor?
Yes, I was in my home, family's house in Long Beach, Long Island.
How did you hear about it? On the radio? Or?
On the radio. We were out kicking a football on what we call the mall, I guess, in the front of the house. We've kept the radio going because any things were going on. And that's when I heard of it. That's when I got awful shock because there were 4 or 5 of us, all good buddies who all knew ready to go to war if we had to.
Right.
That's when we heard it. Monday afternoon.
So you knew that you going to war was kind of imminent at that point.
We knew what was going to happen.
Right. Okay. So you have just gotten your job and you were a trial lawyer and then you got called to active duty?
Yes, I was married on on February the 26th, 1942.
Okay.
Called to active duty on June the 1st, 1940.
Oh, no, so you were newlywed.
That's brand new.
Oh, no. Well, how did your wife feel about you leaving?
She was really shocked.
Yeah.
Because I had been told I wasn't going to be called to active duty till the end of the year.
Right.
That's when we got married. We thought we had maybe 8, 9, 10 months of the year together. That didn't happen.
What was your wife's name?
What was what?
What is your wife's name?
My name was Marian, Marian.
Okay.
The last name, you need that?
Well, I assume it was Donnelly. Oh, or her maiden name.
Kinsley, Kinsley.
Okay. And how did you meet her?
That's a beautiful long story. I was with another girl at I guess a tea dance they called in those days.
Uh-huh.
And this girl had brought Marion as one of her guests to the dance.
Uh-huh.
And in those days, you changed partners when they danced, you know.
Right.
And I changed partners with her, and I said to her, "Where'd you get that jerk you're dancing with?" And she said, "You got one hell of a nerve," and she walked away.
Uh-huh. Oh, my gosh. So how did you meet back up with her?
That's right. I kept calling her because I thought she was a beautiful girl.
Uh-huh.
And she was also very smart, which anyway, long story short, I called her several times, and I always would tell her the same story. No, don't bother me. You're a nasty man, she said.
Uh-huh.
Well, I called her, this is a true story. I called her one night, one afternoon, I said to her, "Look, I know you don't want to talk to me, you're angry with me, but I said, I'd like to take you to dinner." And she said, I really don't care, but, and she said, "Where is it?" I said, "Well, it's at the Wall of Astoria."
Oh, she couldn't turn that down.
That's exactly what she said. She said, "I've never been there. When do I have to go, and what the time?"
Uh-huh.
And that's when it started.
Oh, how funny.
It's cute, and that's it. And I'm married to her for 66 years.
Oh, well, congratulations. That's very sweet.
She's 91.
Oh, my gosh.
She'll be 91 in July.
Oh, well, it sounds like y'all are very happy together.
And
Good. So, I guess we'll get back to the war. How did you get involved in the Army in the first place?
well, something you probably never heard of. Not many people have heard of it.
Uh-huh.
They had a program years ago for young people like myself. Only called it Citizen's Military Training Corps.
Okay.
You never heard of it, right?
No, sir, I haven't.
That was a thing during the Depression where the kids who were left out of during the vacation.
Okay.
They had this training they go to a month every year for 4 years, and you took a different course every month. If you passed the one you got to the other, it was a nice idea. It was very rigorous training in the infantry, of course.
Right.
And if you passed one, you were invited the next year, and that then went to the 4th year. And if you finished, you were graduated. Then they sent you to officers training school, and you became an officer.
So you were already an officer when you got called to active duty.
I was a second lieutenant.
Okay. So you did you get sent to Camp Murphty right away, or did you?
No. I was sent to the infantry retraining course at Camp Spartanburg, South Carolina.
Okay. Wow, that must have been quite a change from Long Island.
That's where they were sending the troops. Yeah, they gave you a 3 months training, and then they shipped you overseas.
Okay.
In the infantry, I was an infantry officer that took all the courses, did everything you could think of. And I was ready to go to combat. But going up, that's it. Go from there.
So they didn't send you overseas when they sent you to Camp Murphy.
That's right.
What was it like going?
I was on a ship at Charleston to be shipped overseas. They took me off the ship at Charleston and sent me to Camp Murphy.
Oh. Well, how would you feel about that? You know, because you're thinking you're going away and then all of a sudden they take you off. But what was that like?
I was a little angry because I wanted to be with my troops, you know.
Right.
But that's what they did, and that's the way I went.
What was their reasoning for that?
Well, they needed they wanted some intelligence officers.
Right.
I was trained in intelligence and infantry. And Camp Murphty at that time was what they call it, a Class 6 installation, which is a secret installation.
Uh-huh.
Very secret because they had a lot of activity going down there that people didn't know about.
Right.
They don't know about to this day. Well, that's why I went there, to be their intelligence officer.
To screen the people that were coming in?
What? That's right. And also, they gave me the other job, which was the way they did it in those days. My title was Public Relations Officer.
Uh-huh.
And under that guise, so-called, I worked as an intelligence officer. Interviewed thousands of people.
Wow. Did you do background checks on them and things?
Yes.
How did you do that when there were no computers or...
No, it was mostly written down. And on the telephone.
Oh, okay. So you would call people and, interview them and find out about the person's background in that way?
Well, they all had to fill out a resume.
Okay.
And we checked the resumes.
I see. Did you like your job?
I loved it. I loved it. I really did.
Do you,
I tell you, most of the kids, the people that came into Camp Murphty, the officers particularly, were all top students in their class. MIT, RPI, all the great engineers, Yale, Harvard, all those kids.
Right.
And most of the officers came from these good colleges.
Well, they had to be smart if they were working on the radar.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right, dear.
Can you tell me about the development of the radar? Or?
No, I don't know much about it. I should, but that's what they did. Some great work down at Camp Murphty. All bright people that did it, and we kept it so nobody could interfere with it.
Right.
It was a wonderful place and a great school. The officers came from all over the world to be there.
How did you feel about going there? Was it, the climate is obviously different than New York and...
Well, I've been at Camp Croft, I tell you, in June. Carolina. Come on, please.
So you were used to the heat.
No water around either, kid.
Right.
The ocean close by.
Yeah. What did you like about Camp Murphty? What was your favorite thing about it?
Well, not only the activities that were going on, but all the personnel that I had contact with, I found to be very affable, smart, and very much dedicated to the job.
Well, good. I've read in the Sandy Thurlow took some notes on the conversation that y'all had one time, and she said that you got to use the homes of the wealthy on Jupiter Island.
That's correct.
That must have been really neat.
It was absolutely undescribable. And they were well kept, and they were very nice to us.
So you would stay there, or would you just go there for the day?
No, I only went there if my wife came down, which is not too frequently, but we used the facilities over there, the Jupiter Island Club.
Oh, okay.
All the beautiful, the tennis courts and all that. It was a millionaire's paradise. It still is, I guess.
Right. So you got to go play tennis in your off time. And... Right. Oh, that's good. What was it like, your quarters like at Camp Murphty? Did you live in barracks or?
Well, we had I was one of the staff officers. We had what a special residence, you call it. It was high-class barracks.
It was nicer than the regular barracks.
Yes, because we each had our own room.
Oh, so you had your own private room?
Yes, we had private. Yes, it is. Everybody used the same Johns and the same showers, though, I'll tell you that.
I bet that wasn't your favorite part. What did you do for fun besides going to Jupiter Island? Did you go to the Martin County Service Club or?
No, we went to the Jupiter Island Club.
That's what you.
Yeah, we had that. we could use that.
Oh, okay.
The beach and the tennis courts and the pool and everything.
Mm-hmm. I know you were married, but did you ever go to any dances or anything like that?
No, I was in charge of some of these dances, and I went to all of them, to see, I guess, to supervise more or less.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't have any girl at that time. I was married, and
right.
I did what I thought was the right thing.
Right. Well, apparently you did the right thing because you've been married for 66 years. Did you ever go to Stewart?
Yes, many times.
What was Stewart like?
It was a cute little town.
Mm-hmm.
It was a Florida town, as I had just heard about and read about.
Right.
It's a great fishing town.
Mm-hmm.
It still is, I guess it is.
It is, yeah. Did you ever go fishing?
Yes, I did a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
I liked fishing, but I like to do with the surf casting. That's what I like.
Oh, okay. When you did go fishing, what did you catch? Did you ever catch any sailfish or?
No, a bluefish.
A bluefish?
Bluefish.
Okay. Could you elaborate more on the town? Was it a big town, a small town?
It is a small southern town, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
But awfully nice people, and they all try to help us.
Right.
Help the servicemen of Camp Murphty, which was very noble of them.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these kids, come from all parts of the country, and
it's their first time from here.
Right, that's exactly right.
Right. Okay. I also heard that you knew Trapper Nelson.
Yes, I did.
How did you know him? How'd you meet him?
I met him he was on the military police force at Camp Murphty.
Oh, okay.
Quite a guy. Where did you hear about him?
From Sandy Thurlow.
Yeah, she knows all about him.
Yeah.
He's a legend down there.
Right. So that was before he moved to his house in the woods.
Maybe what?
That was before he moved to his house in the woods. Didn't he live in a house?
Yes, he did.
Mm-hmm.
He's a real rugged guy.
Right. Okay. Were you involved with the move of Camp Murphty to Fort Monmouth?
No, they sent me, when they went to Fort Monmouth, I went to up here to New York. They sent me up here to New York.
Oh, okay.
And then they put me back in Fort Monmouth. And that's where I became Chief of Military Intelligence and Director of Intelligence and all that kind of stuff.
So you continued your intelligence work?
That's right.
Okay. And you never went overseas?
Oh.
Why did they close Camp Murphty?
Well, they felt that it had served its purpose.
Mm-hmm.
The war was winding down.
Mm-hmm.
And they had some new developments, which I wasn't involved in.
Right.
Techniques, which is the basis of what you're seeing today, all these changes in television and the digital, all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's most of it started right there, and in Fort Monmouth, and at Edison, New Jersey.
Oh, okay. So you were a lot closer to home.
Right.
I bet your wife liked that.
What?
I bet your wife liked that.
Oh, okay.
Were you sad about having to leave Camp Murphty?
Yes, I was. I had other things to be done, and I wanted to get doing. Because they promised me I was going to go. I was in charge of a company, military company. Because the plan was we're going to have to defeat Japan, and we were going to have to take them island by island.
Right.
And I was given a particular island that I was supposed to go to with my group. But fortunately, they dropped the bomb, and that was the end of that.
Right. So you were relieved when the war was over and they dropped the atomic bomb.
I certainly was.
Right. Do you remember where you were when you heard about it?
That I don't remember.
You don't remember, but you just remember feeling relieved?
That's right.
Good. Do you have any favorite memories from Camp Murphy?
Oh, there's too many to tell you.
Oh, you can't even think of a couple?
I guess I had a group of men that worked with me.
Uh-huh.
And they were all being shipped overseas. And we had a party down in some little place in Palm Beach. I don't know where it was.
Uh-huh.
But that was one of the best times of my life because all these men that were with me,
Right.
they all got killed overseas.
Oh.
Saw them again.
Mm-hmm.
And I was supposed to be with them, and I wasn't.
Right.
I'll never forget that. And I'll never forget all the people that stood in Palm Beach.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice to the service people in Murphy, and me particularly. And I found them all. Can't describe them, how much they meant to me.
Uh-huh.
As the boys at Camp Murphy. And I had some great officers under me and over me. And those are all good memories because it's difficult to say that with all that's going on in the world today.
Right.
Friends are the greatest thing you can have.
Yeah, and it sounds like you made a lot of good friends. Do you still keep in touch with anyone from Camp Murphy?
They're all gone.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's a shame.
It is rough, come on.
Yeah. Have you ever been back to Stewart?
Yes, I went to Camp Murphy about 8 or 9 years ago.
Uh-huh.
Checked it out, and I stopped at Stewart's, of course. Maybe it's more than that. Time goes so quickly. This is about over 15 years ago.
Oh.
15 years ago.
Were you surprised to see how much Stewart had changed?
Well, I couldn't figure it out at all. I just remember some of the buildings, but it seems like a brand new city. It's a brand new town to me,
Yeah, it's grown a lot.
And I couldn't have a hell of a time finding Camp Murphy.
Yeah, but I think it's all gone now. There's just a couple buildings left.
That's all.
Mm-hmm.
But I rode around it, and I could remember some spots, but the rest of it's too overgrown now.
Right.
It's a beautiful state park.
Yes, it is.
You can you are people allowed in there now or what?
I think that you're allowed to go to the state park and see the buildings.
Yeah.
But there's just a couple buildings.
Sure. I understand that. Yeah.
Right.
Well, most of them were, they're only temporary buildings,
Mm-hmm. Because it was only in operation for such a short time.
That's right.
Right. Well, is there anything else you'd like to add to the interview?
No, just that it's very nice to talk to you.
Okay.
That young woman I talked to, what's her name again?
Well, I'm Holly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, the other woman.
Maybe Jan?
The one that recommended you.
Oh, Sandy Thurlow.
That's the one.
Right.
She's been there a long time, hasn't she?
She has. She's a long-time resident of Stewart.
You never been to Stewart? Have you been to Stewart?
Yes, sir, I have. I've been a couple of times for, the museum that we're working on, the Elliott Museum there, so.
The train still stop there or not?
No, sir, the train does not stop there anymore. They stopped that in the 60s, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, and they moved it further west.
Isn't that amazing?
Mm-hmm.
You know that they had a station at Camp Murphy. You knew that, did you?
Yes.
I think that's still there. I think the shack is still there. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I was there last time we were there. Just a little shack is still there.
Oh, I remember something I forgot to ask you. How did you get to Camp Murphy?
How did I get to Camp Murphy?
Mm-hmm. Did you take a train?
Sure, I took the train.
Oh, okay.
And I took this shipped me all over the place by train. No, by train most of the time.
Oh, okay.
Okay, dear.
All right. Well, thank you very much for talking to me. And I will get the release form to you and a copy of the tape and the transcription just as soon as I can.
Where were you born?
When was I born?
Where?
I was born in South Florida, but more south than Stewart. I was born in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, that's a beautiful town.
Yeah.
So you're Florida? Where'd you go to school?
I'm a Florida girl. Yeah, I went to FSU, Florida State.
Right.
I'm actually finishing up my master's there right now.
Pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
You think, what's your major?
History.
Very good.
Uh-huh. So I love history and I love to hear, your stories and
It's an interesting thing because there were some great people who went through Camp Murphty. Their names are written all over the place, I suppose, but we had great people, and all of them were killed. And the Signal Corps at that time is completely different. And they had men climbing poles, because in those days they used the phones to put the telephone wires on. Mm-hmm. And they had these men, they trained them how to climb the poles, and how to wire the poles and all that stuff.
Oh, did you ever have to do that?
No. I could have, but a lot of men did it. And a lot of them did that overseas, and a lot of them were killed doing it.
Well, it sounds like a dangerous job.
It's a dangerous job.
Climbing up so high.
And then getting shot at, besides.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice to talk to you, dear.
Nice to talk to you, too.
If you have questions, call me anytime.
All right, thank you so much. Bye-bye.